Okay, I think we are now live. Second
Okay.
second time is the charm, hopefully. So let us know on
Great.
YouTube if it's working.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our talk at Lightbox Expo. This talk is about Magma Studios, the art of collaboration. We're going to share some of the amazing new developments and hopefully get you even more excited about this tool. So I'm going to introduce my esteemed panelists here. First, I'm going to start with Masae Seki, who is an Asian Canadian wonderful, beautiful lady here. She is a freelance character designer and illustrator based in Toronto, Canada. And she's currently at Imaginism Studios working on films, TV shows, and children's illustration books. Masae has illustrated numerous books for Disney Publishing and was one of the character designers for Netflix's The Christmas Chronicles, directed by Clay Kaitis. She designed the 3 Lightbox Expo mascots, so thank you, and also came up with this year's limited edition LBX pins and t-shirts. And when she's not working on her art, she's either giving her cats belly rubs or at the gym rock climbing. Welcome.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
Masae is going to be the artist, the guinea pig, using the tools that we share today and giving her opinion on how practical they are and how she actually would use them in her work and in personal. And from Magma Studio side, we have the 2 co-founders, Damien and Wojtek. Damien, as a CEO, makes sure that everybody is working towards the common goal, whereas Wojtek is leading all the product design efforts. And prior to Magma, the team has worked together for many years to solve challenges of digital collaboration. And now with Magma, they're here to build the best possible collaborative tools for the creative industry. Okay, before we go into the tools and share about the latest version, I want to hear more about the contest. Damien, tell us more.
Yes, but before that, I think we need to thank our amazing host and also a judge, Maureen Fan, CEO of Baobab Studios, and 8 times Emmy Award, 2 times Annie winning, and just amazing entrepreneur and artist. So thanks for having us here on the call.
Thank you.
Yeah, and so together with Wacom, to celebrate our partnership, which we will tell more about it later, we have decided to host a collaborative contest to show people and to give people an opportunity to show off their team skills, and we have some really amazing submissions, and we'll tell you a little bit more about Magma first, but at the end of the call we will announce the winners. We'll show you third, second, and first place, and also just a reminder that the first team will be winning a Wacom One pen display for every participant. So yeah, let's please stay tuned.
Amazing artwork. You definitely want to see them because we'll show them on the screen. All right. So, question: why did you make Magma Studios? Tell me the story.
Yeah. So the story is sounds quite simple. So Radek, also a co-founder, he's an engineer, but he wanted to become an artist. He was actually always into artsy things, but he wanted to learn how to draw, and he couldn't find the tools to like do it online and do it together with his friends. So he wanted to draw with his friends, and he solved the problem himself by building the drawing engine, bread. What's the saying? Meat and potatoes of Magma, and eventually, the rest of the team joined Radek, and we decided to bring it to the next level. And also last year, before the previous Lightbooks, we paired up with Bobby, Jim, and the Lightbooks crew to figure out how to launch it, how to bring it to the wider community, and it was a pleasure to do it, to do the official announcement at Lightbooks last year.
Amazing. And how did you two meet each other?
We met at college, although we didn't. I think we weren't at the same year. I think at the time, I think I met Wojtek when we were rock climbing, but through some luck, we ended up working in like similar startups and solving like problems of collaboration in like different spaces than arts. But yeah, we are.
So we have 3 rock climbers here, although I have to say I'm retired, so.
No, you can come back anytime.
Where are you guys, by the way? Where are you located?
I'm in Austin, Texas.
And I'm based in Poland, but currently in Hungary, in Budapest.
Oh, wow.
So truly showing the remote collaboration. It's possible. We do it. We've been doing it.
Yeah,
that's
seriously.
amazing. Masae, how about you? I know you've used Magma Studios before. What's your take on this tool?
Yeah, actually, I am I try to promote Magma Studio to anyone I know, even non-artists, like especially my best friend. She's a teacher, an elementary school teacher. So I was like, hey, use this. And she's like, this is amazing because like, kids, they don't get to spend time with each other in school right now. So just having a space where they can really be creative and have fun and, just have a free program like this to be readily available was, such an amazing experience, not only for them, but also obviously for artists all around the world. So, I've heard that there's been like other programs that were similar like this, where it's like a collaborative tool, but not as, good as Magma because it's so intuitive. It's similar to Photoshop. So a lot of the functions that professional artists use is all, there in Magma. So it can be used not only for like just for fun in school kind of thing, but also for like professional settings.
Amazing. Well, talking about, more about Magma and the tool that you created. I know that you were here this is for Damien and Wojtek. I know you're here you were at LBX last year too, and you guys revealed everything. How was the app received by the community, by the Lightbox Expo community?
Yeah, go ahead, Wojtek.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, I think for me personally, it was kind of the eye-opening because, we obviously believed in the idea and we knew it's super cool, but it's really like, I think thanks to Bobby and Jim, we actually realized how much the app like changes for many artists, like being able to connect and finally work on things together. So I think, like for me, it was like it was kind of overwhelming even seeing like all the artists collaborate and create those crazy things together. Like the talks, like I remember the talk from last year with I think Kim Jung-gi, where they drew like a lot of frogs, and I was just watching this and like not believing in my eyes, like so many great artworks created within an hour by so many artists. It was like really, really mind-blowing.
I think I was praying for our servers not to crash and like for everything to go smoothly. And
yeah, you just get like flooded by like artist users.
Yeah,
it's really fun because back in college, in every classroom there used to be like a whiteboard, and every year, like first year, second year, third year, and fourth year, we had a whiteboard, and everyone would draw on it, and then everyone would add it, on top of each other's drawings. So this is exactly it. So it feels like a lot of people feel like almost like a kid again, like a student again, where they can, where they're not always thinking about like, like what do I need to make, to get a lot of attention. This is more just like having fun with your friends, and it's just like a really great tool, especially now in this like crazy time.
Yeah, I'm guessing usage really increased during the pandemic. Okay, how about challenges with the tool? Like, what feedback did you get from last year just over time, and what did you decide to improve on?
So, although it was a very warm welcome, and it like Lightbox last year was great, we also like at that point we kind of realized that there's much more challenges. Like the solution that we created has created new challenges. So we realized that, you know, as soon as artists start to collaborate, they also need to communicate. So it's not only about drawing, but once you draw together, you need to talk, you need to write. So we figured, okay, we have to do something with the communication problem that sometimes happens. There were some issues coming from the community where, like, you know, sometimes people joined each other boards, and even without knowing, they changed each other artwork. And then that made some other artists feeling bad, like say, oh, wow, it's like somebody changed my artwork. So we had to think really hard how to address that. And I think the first learning after last Lightbox is that it's cool what we had at that time, but there are still some professional tools missing that we really have to add in order to make it like a full-fledged artist tool.
And actually, there was like one more challenge, is that people, there's quite a lot that needs to happen for people to truly experience Magma, and I don't know, maybe we'll cover that like later in detail.
Well, let's dive into each of them, because I'm guessing since those are your 4 main areas of feedback that you've got, you've been really busy working on improving those things. So let's start with the first piece of feedback that you guys had, the challenge, which is communication. I know a lot of people use Discord and it's can be difficult to coordinate with Discord with Magma. So how did you solve that? Did you integrate Discord? What was your solution?
So we decided to build. The voice chat right into Magma Studio. So actually, right now you can just go ahead, click a small phone icon, and you're on the call. And I guess, you know, we're not alone. Like, there's a lot of tools nowadays that realize the same thing. Like, as soon as you collaborate, you just need to communicate. And the easiest way to do that is to build that inside the tool. And that said, I realized, because I was very curious, you know, like how it's gonna be during Lightbox. Will people jump on those calls like inside canvases and you know, talk to each other? And I actually realized that it's not always the case. So I guess the next challenge after this year is why does this happen? And I have a thought on that I think it's also sometimes it's a bit hard to make this first step, you know, like you meet some artists, you start drawing together, maybe you don't know each other, so you're a little bit shy. So I'm curious, like on your perspective, Masae, about this, like what do you think? Like, is it the right way to connect via voice chat, the artists that just met, or like what would be the best way around it? Did you use it yourself? Like, did you talk to some artists on canvases?
We did actually. Bobby and we organized like a very small event with some people on Discord, because like we have our Lightbox Discord community, so we actually gathered people there, but then we transferred them right over to Magma and used that feature, and we realized like yeah, it's not much different from Discord. So we were able to communicate very clearly, and it's nice because like you can see who's on the call and who's talking. I think right now it's because it's a newer feature, a lot of people actually don't know about that. So I think it's just like a matter of time until people start, you know, utilizing that tool. But also it's great for smaller groups, especially people who don't know Discord, because Discord itself is very confusing, but when it's, you know, simplified to this, I'm sure a lot of artists are gonna appreciate, you know, that simple push of a button.
Can we actually show voice chat to people?
Yeah, let's show it.
Yeah, for sure. Let me just share my screen then. Okay. Just a second. You should be able to see it now. Is it there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we've got this like small icon here, and then, you know, when I press it, I'm basically like right away on the call, and you can always see like who's online. So you can see I'm in the voice chat. I have Damian and Radek here, so maybe it's not a good idea to start the call, because then we're gonna have bad echo. But yeah, if Damian would join me, we would be just like talking right in here. But then, as I said, we also have a written chat, because we figured sometimes, you know, it might be difficult to jump on the conversation, especially not in the studio setting, but when you're working with someone that you first met. So you could just say, "Hi, Damian," you know, just start the conversation, and maybe after, if you're comfortable, just switch to the voice chat.
Cool. Okay, let's go into the second thing that you talked about, which is you were mentioning how sometimes people would be editing each other's layers without knowing it. Like there's problems in general with layer ownership. So can you tell me more about how you dealt with that?
For sure. And I even remember, like before I get to the solution, I remember we discussed this Masae a while ago, right? I think you were mentioning that there was this issue that like you heard like people sometimes feel bad about it, right? Can you like remind me like a bit what was the feedback that you're getting on that?
Yeah, so in our Discord community, I'm actually connected with a lot of people from around the world. And because, in the past year since last Lightbox, we've become really good friends, and we've started to make like little cute cards, like, birthday cards or like a congratulation card. So we just invite people that we know to just draw a little illustration just to contribute to it. And I've experienced it, and my other friend experienced it as well. But there was a time when I spent a lot of time on this one illustration, and I was thinking, okay, I'll just come back to this tomorrow because I'm out of time. And then the next morning when I got back to it, it's like either someone deleted it or someone like drew on top of it. But realizing that like all my hard work was kind of like dumped somewhere by someone, not knowing who it was. Not that I could get mad, because I think that's just the nature of like, collaboration. So having that little feature, I thought would be nice just to kind of be like, hey, this is so-and-so's layer. So just be careful, or just be mindful of that. And ever since we added that feature, a lot of people that I did Magma jams on, they were like, oh, this is a really awesome feature, because then if they're curious, they can also check out who did the layer, but also being careful not to, override their layer and mess with anything.
Show us how it works.
Yeah, for sure. And I wanted just to add, I guess at that time that someone, probably accidentally, but change your artwork, that's probably when you wrote to me, I'm guessing. At the exact moment. Okay, so what we did, so we thought about this, and we didn't want just to like forbid people to change each other layer, because sometimes it's like what everyone works on their own thing. It's good to make sure that okay, everyone has their own part of artwork, and we don't want to get in the way of each other. But sometimes it's the opposite. If you're using Magma Studio to create a collaborative piece of art, like in our contest, for example, you actually want the opposite. You want to be able to jump on any layer. You don't have time to always like work on separate layers. So we came up with those. So first of all, we added the owner on the layer, so that even if like someone leaves a layer, let's say I go out of this layer, you can still see that my name is there. So that's like the first piece of knowledge that is there, that okay, that's what Wojtek was working on. So maybe I'm going to ask him before I erase all of that, because he's just going to be not very happy about it. And then we thought that it's actually like what we should do is introduce some settings that will allow you to control what's happening. So let me just become admin here. So and I want to say that it's very hard to figure this out, because there are so many ways in which people use the software. It's the studios, but also people just drawing for fun, various, or just doodling. So we didn't want to force everyone to do the same thing. So we came up with a few settings where you can kind of adjust what you want. So depending on the use case, we always recommend people that like some settings are probably like useful for them to make sure nothing bad happens. So for example, if you are sharing canvas like in a community like Lightbox, or like right now during the event, we always say that probably it's a good idea to make sure that no one can take over offline user layers. This means that if I draw something and I leave, nobody can change it, just me. So just making sure that what happened to Masae doesn't happen to you. So that's a good one for an event like this. But then again, imagine you were doing some artwork for your work. So you would probably you probably wouldn't like to select this, because then your friend comes and just wants to change something or adjust something, and they just can't. So we came up with the set of settings like similar to the number of like layers per user. If you're like, for example, we have a lot of people using Magma Studio for either teaching, like many people on the same canvas, or doing streams where they interact with audience. And sometimes they share a Magma board, but the problem is as soon as you do that and a lot of people jump in, they start to create like a lot of layers, and very quickly you hit the limit. So if you want to prevent that, you can just say, okay, we want everyone to have their space, but we need to limit it somehow. That's why like everyone will have maximum 3 or 2 layers. So there's a couple of those settings that can help you to adjust the collaboration to work exactly the way you want. We're gonna, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was saying, like, I want to say I love that feature where it limits you from, the amount of layers, because I'm the type of person who likes to go crazy with layers. So it's perfect for people like me.
Yeah, I heard on one of the Discord jams on Lightbox, the moderator, I don't remember who was that, but was, artists were asking, so what is the layer limit? Like, is there a layer limit? And he said, well, yeah, but it's just 8 of you, so just go for it. Let's see what the limit is. And then, my heart sank, but luckily, nothing bad happened.
Okay, so another one that you mentioned that you want to improve on was lack of some professional drawing tools. Masae, can you tell me more about that piece of feedback? Have you encountered that issue?
Yeah, I think one tool would be the smudge tool. I'm not sure if that's on the way, but I know there are some people who like that feature. So I think for me, that would be the missing tool.
Wojtek, did you make that tool for Masae? What other tool have you created?
For me.
Yeah. I know that Masae already asked about this tool, but also I heard this from a lot of artists. And that was also kind of confusing for me at first, because I'm not artist myself. I'm my background is UI UX design. So I didn't know before I really get into how artists work and talk to a lot of artists that artists has very different workflows. So from some artists I was hearing say, yeah, I really need smudge tool. It's what I need for my workflow. But then some artists told me, no, I never use smudge tool, So it's very individual. But that said, smudge tool is coming. So just to make everyone aware, it's gonna be coming for sure.
What else? What other tools have you recently added?
So one of the tools which we actually added and published during Lightbox Expo is called Shapes or custom shapes. Actually, let me share my screen once again. And there was a talk today about it from Imaginism Studios, so a company which actually helped us to develop this feature. So big shout out and thank you for that. So basically the idea is that with the shapes, you are able to do many things that would normally take you a long time. So we've got this amazing collection of shapes in here by Imaginism Studios that you can open, and it allows you to so one thing where it's useful is you can see the scene created by the shapes. So you can very quickly make a comic, for example. So let's say I'm in here and I'm just gonna put another folk with the gun in here, right? Oh, oops, sorry, that's not how I wanted to do it. So yeah, I can keep adding shapes here to make a quick stories. But also there's a lot of concept artists use shapes to quickly make a thumbnail preview of a perspective. So you're just gonna use the shapes to make some background mountains or some forest to get at the basis of your scene, and it speeds up the workflow. So we are very curious what the community will do with it. And right now it's the single collection, but we're planning to make it possible to upload your own collections of shapes. These are just vector shapes, so you'll be able to add whatever is fit for your whatever you use for your workflow or whatever you would like to use for your workflow.
Yeah, and I'd like to actually add that on the talk it was earlier today called Rogue Rascals. I think it will be available to watch also later. I think either by the end of Lightbox or forever. It's the Rogue Rascals talk, and David Levi and Yarif Newman, they were showing entire process how to create a comic book strip using Magma in a collaborative way. So feel free to check it out. And maybe it would be also good to mention that for professionals to use Magma, you need to have your professional hardware connected and supported. So we've been working hard to make sure like different types of hardware are working well with Magma and different browsers. And I think we should specifically call out Wacom. And we can proudly say that we are now optimized to handle Wacom devices. So it's basically plug and play. Obviously, there can still be issues because we are at the mercy of browsers. They like Firefox or Chrome, like they can ship a new bug any release they make. So, but we try to fix it as it happens. Yeah.
Well, it seems like you already have some things that you released at Lightbox Expo. What's coming? What other tools are next on the dock?
Well, so obviously this match tool, we established that. So now we can take it back. We have to ship it soon. But from the other interesting things, I guess what we can share is that we're also working on the lasso fill tool, which is like not I would say that it's still not like a tool that every artist uses, but we really think it can also speed up your process, because instead of making brush strokes, you can like just select a big surface and have it filled with color immediately. So you can really like easily put the values out there to get the base of the composition, and it speeds up things. Or if you work on the artwork, which is like it's supposed to look a bit like done with the ink, it's also like much more efficient than using brushes. So we I don't want to give any specific times, but I'm gonna say that we are already testing this like privately. So hopefully we can get it out soon, and we would love to hear feedback on that. And the third big thing which I wanted to say that will be, and again, this is something that a lot of people asked, and I think this is also like crucial to all the professionals, is importing your own brushes and the shapes. So basically, like in Magma Studio, we have some cool texture brushes that are, like a lot of people say they're really nice, but also like a lot of people said, yeah, but I I want to have my brushes that I'm used to, because then I can use the same workflow that I use in other tools in Magma Studio. So we under the hood, the application already supports the brushes. So now we're working on giving you a way to upload your own collection and just use it right there. So hopefully that will be a big changer, because you won't have to adjust to the tool. It will just work the way you are used to.
I can think of lots of companies that would want to buy you very soon. Okay, I remember the last piece of feedback was about true collaboration, like people using Magma enough. What did you mean by that? Is there something missing in Magma in terms of features, or what's the issue of keeping people from collaborating?
Yeah, I think I mentioned that, so I'll answer. Yeah, so basically quite a few things need to happen for people to really experience what many artists are easily experiencing during Lightbox Expo. So one thing is that people first of all need to know how to use the tool, and here at Lightbox, people can quickly help each other. Hey, this is how you do it here in Magma, but we are working on tutorials to make it really easy for people to find out about it themselves. And I already mentioned that we are working on improving support for professional devices. We want to make it as plug and play as possible. So you launch Magma and you have a working setup as quickly as possible. And today you've probably been following our support channel. Some people are asking, okay, how do I make it work on Firefox? So we want to make sure that we actually guide the user through the process instead of maybe even instead of them reading tutorials, we just guide them step by step. And I know the third top point is you need to have drawing partners. At Lightbox, very easy. We have the Draw Together page and Discord, but we want to make it also as easy as possible as for the random user who finds Magma on Google, for example. And probably a good segue to kind of a big things which we we are announcing during this Lightbox event. So I don't know, maybe Wojtek, you'd like to cover that?
Yeah, for sure. So we introduced during Lightbox something that is kind of answering what Damian just talked about. So maybe let me just share my screen to show you. Okay. So basically what we kind of zoomed out on the problem and we thought, okay, so how can we solve those three issues, like people, in a way that people will not have like this trouble with collaboration, it will just come to people naturally. So basically what we came up with, we call this Artspaces. So it's a first truly collaborative workspace for game animation studios and art communities. So we just announced it now and yeah.
Can you show us? Yeah, show us how this works.
For sure. So maybe I can start by kind of telling why we build it. So obviously we observed, like we've seen communities like Lightbox where people like to connect with each other and they like to grow together, like learning from each other or just having fun, like spending quality time with other art friends. So we wanted to build a tool for communities. But at the same time, we thought, okay, but what about professionals? They're kind of facing the same problem, just in a different setting. So they also need to collaborate on artworks. They also need to connect easily. So that's why we thought, so the Artspaces are gonna also address this need where studios work together on something easily, brainstorm quickly, and don't lose time on the back and forth all the time. Yeah. So what you can see here is the version of Artspaces that's not available yet, but we already inviting everyone to sign up for beta. So basically what you see is that you can have, in Artspaces, you can have all your artworks there. You can build folders. You can see who's online. So for example, sorry, let me switch here. So you can see that, okay, there are all my artworks there. I can see two of my friends working on them with me, and I can see what is the current status, are there any events that happen that I should go and check out. We also have a list of live sessions. So you'll be able to see, okay, there's someone joining in, I can just jump in on the session and join them and discuss something, with them. So that's the core of it. And just one, go ahead, yeah. Just one question is yeah, so what you maybe some of you seen this during Lightbox. So the first very first version that we actually that is happening on Lightbox is the draw together page. So this is kind of a community board where you can see other people in real time. You can see who's working on what, and this is the idea that we started with. So this is public in Lightbox now, but the next version is Artspaces and it's coming soon.
Cool. So is this more catered towards communities or professional teams?
So I think, yeah. So I think that's basically both, and that's because the collaboration problem is universal. So I think if you think about this, the tools that are nowadays used by studios, they were kind of built in the 90s. So all of them were at the time where even the internet wasn't that popular, right? So they were built with single user in mind. And a good example for that is when I started to look into the how artists work, and we were also looking a bit at animation, and I was really surprised to learn that whenever you work on animation, you have to have literally hundreds of files. So every file within every frame of 2D animation is always gonna be one file for the background and the outline and then the colors. So, and there's no tool that would allow you to bring everything into one single application, so everyone can just connect and work on it in real time. So on a very high level, this is where we're coming from, and whatever you do with it, it depends on what you want to do. If you're working for a studio, you want to speed up your work and deliver next TV show faster. That's great. But if you want to create a fun project with friends, that's also where Magma Studio will come into play.
Yeah, that's really cool. As you were saying all of this, I could just imagine myself already using this in both professional, but also maybe even personal project, for personal projects, and even like little things like if you have a little comment you want to say on, let's just say, this character, they can just go into that file and then write a note and then just leave it, and then write a message and say like, hey, can you just check this out. It's nice where like this whole like everything is just conveniently in one place.
It's it's great to hear that. And one of the challenges that we probably will face, and like I'm kind of curious your opinion on that, but so like similar tools have been introduced in like some, like even Google Docs, right? Like if you work in Google Docs, everything that you do is instantly public. Like everyone can see what you've done. So like I know that some people even within our company like are not always like fully comfortable with sharing the result of the work right away. And I'm thinking with art community, this is also like, this is something that we want to be very sensitive about and work close with community, because I'm pretty sure like that many artists, they prefer to keep their workflow very private and just share whenever they absolutely need to share, right?
Yeah, especially for those who are shy. I wouldn't want everyone seeing what I do until it's really great.
Yeah. But I think I seen like, so myself, I'm a like in this field where I'm coming from, UI UX design. Like I remember myself being like very shy about it. So like I was always like, for example, when I work in co-working offices, I always try to find a space where nobody can look around my shoulder, literally, right? So I was super like shy about my work. But once I started to use like more collaborative tools, like slowly I kind of transitioned to the place where I now like I'm like I don't really care. Look, I can work anywhere. Like like just using the collaborative tools make you a little bit less shy, because you start to get used to the idea that your art is your art and you are you. Like it's not like when people even see your art and comment on it, it's not really comment on who you are or your values as a person, right?
Yeah, it definitely builds more confidence. And then once you show that confidence, I'm sure other people will be like, oh, I guess it's not so bad, like showing my stuff when it's still work in progress. So it's like I get to see what they, what they're working on. So, it's like a win-win situation.
Yeah. All right.
Do you have time to do a demo? I know that we're like, there's a lot to cover, but I think we're a little late, but I would still love to see a quick demo.
Yeah. I'm just gonna walk you through a couple of the most important features to give you like a better idea of what will be doable with it. So one of the big things which I mentioned are the notifications. So right now with Magma, you go to the board and you work together, which is cool. But if you leave, you never know what happened after you leave. So what we're adding in Artspaces is the ability to comment and leave your notes anywhere. So whenever someone changes anything on your canvas, you'll be able to get it. Like you can select a notification, like enable notifications. You're gonna get email. Wow, this is your latest artwork. Someone just went in there and commented. You can go and check it out. So you're always gonna be up to date on what your friends or coworkers did.
And by the way, I know some of the participants in our contest were actually working in multiple time zones. So this feature would have been useful. I mean, we don't have it yet, but it would have been useful if a person on the team wakes up and sees what all are all the comments and like changes that rest of the team did like overnight. So
yeah, another big thing, and I talked to a lot of artists about it already, and I guess everyone who's seen it was excited, was something that we call Multiboard. And we have a like a very like trial version of it, and some of you might have seen it on some of the talks. I know like also like the Rogi Rascals talk today featured it, but it's not public yet. It was like kind of us experimenting, trying to figure out what works, what's not. But it's basically the ability to have not only one canvas, but multiple things next to each other. So you can think of this as being able to build a mind map of artworks, like, because most of the time, if you're working on any project, it's not just single artwork. You always have reference pictures, or you have like multiple versions of the same artwork. So soon you'll be able to do like a lot of canvases next to each other, so you can use it for any artistic project that you want, to get an overview of the color scheme or whatever you need. Yeah, so you can see that you'll be able to create. Oops, sorry. create the folders, and it will be like recursive. So you can just dive in there and create another structure inside that folder. So it can get even crazy at some point. You'll be able to see live updates. So whenever any of those things changes, like since it's in the browser, it's based on the web, you always get the latest version. So if you can host an event similar as like, you know, the draw together page, and like everything is updating instantly. And I think the last thing that I wanted to talk about, which is a very big thing, is the PSD thing. So we are aware that, you know, like whenever you work on something, like often there are like some industry standards that you have to adhere to. So the way we imagine Magma Studio being used for more like studio or commercial process is being to actually able to tap it into that by syncing your files. So how Artspaces are gonna work is that you will be able to connect to a cloud, like maybe Google Drive or Dropbox, and make sure that whatever you change in Magma Studio is being changed in your cloud, and whatever is being changed in your cloud or your hard drive, it always gets automatically updated in Magma Studio. So you'll be able to use it as a collaboration layer on basically top of any other tool.
And I guess a question, maybe we can learn something, Wojtek, from Masae and Maureen, and based on your experience in Magma, like how would you see yourself like using such a feature, like synchronizing with PSD, like, and what part of the process would you like see yourself using it?
Yeah, I totally see this as like an amazing feature, just because I'm an organized person, but when it comes to digital stuff, I kind of lose track of everything. So having this two-way sync is like, just, you know, it just cuts out that middle process and makes things a lot smoother, and then I don't have to think as much. So yeah, this is really cool.
That's great to hear. And maybe one more thing that I wanted to talk about. We already covered voice calls, so I'm gonna just go over that. Obviously, you'll be able to share with whoever you want and control who has access to the files. But the exciting thing, which I wanted to show you, is something that we called replayable paintovers. And I think you mentioned something about teaching. And obviously, we know that like, you know, Bobby is also like always like telling us what features would be useful to teaching the art. So this is something we hopefully will really make a difference when it comes to education, but also like giving feedback and art reviews. So basically the way we want this to work is that you'll be able to leave not only a like written comment on the canvas, but actually go there, make some simple paint over, like, okay, you can see that I have this dwarf in here, and I change a little bit the overlay, like I paint over the armor, I paint over the beard and the eyes, like adding some highlights. And as I'm doing that, I'm recording a voice memo, and that's it. I'm just leaving it as a message. So it's not changing the canvas, and the person which I made the voiceover to, they can just play it back and see, oh, that's like what my, like, you know, senior artist or my teacher is wants me to do. Now I have to do it myself. So like honestly, we think this will make it so much easier, not only to collaborate live, but just go there, you know, like let's say you're a teacher. So you just go to your students' artworks one by one, you leave them like voice memos and paintovers, and you know, it's like making what was always like needed to be done in real time, make it possible asynchronously. And I think that's pretty much it. What I like. There's a lot of other things, but you know, we have to we have to keep some secrets. So yeah.
Well, talking about secrets, you were teasing us in the beginning that there's some kind of announcement for a partnership. Tell us more about the partnership.
Yeah, so you probably know this company, Wacom, right? They have been making great devices for the last 40 years, very innovative devices. And Magma Studio also a very, we'd like to think of us as an innovative company, bringing some cool solutions to the creative market. So yeah, we decided to team up, and as a celebration of like the partnership between Wacom and Magma, we are hosting this collaborative contest together, and yeah, soon we'll be presenting the winners of the contest. But I would also like to thank Don Varga, who's a VP of marketing from Wacom, who also helped us in the organizing this event, and he's one of the judges. He looked at every artwork that you submitted. So thank you, Don. And I should also mention that Wacom, and you'll see the links at the end of the call, is also giving some nice discounts for their devices. Just go to lightbooks.wacom.com and you can get a nice discount for being a Lightbooks participant. And also, we as Magma, as part of the bundle with Wacom One, you can get 3 months of Magma Pro for free. So yeah, I think that's that, and I think without further ado, we can probably go to the artworks, right?
This is a contest time. We get to announce winners.
Should we go through some of them? Our top.
Okay.
Was it 10?
So I have switched the view to the Magma board where we'll be showing the artworks.
Are we ready to uncover the third place? Everyone ready?
Yes.
Okay, let's do this. Third place.
Are you going to share your screen?
Oh, okay. Okay.
We'll just be like, "Yay! Congrats!"
I think our viewers can already see
yes,
it.
Yes, the viewers can see it, but we on the call.
Okay, can they see?
to...
Okay.
I can't see. Okay,
third
place.
Congrats.
Third place.
Okay.
The name of the third place is A Break to Repair, Team Fege, with artists Jean Clunevet, Aymeric Ruiz, and Felix Donadio.
Yeah, and let me just show the artwork. Yeah.
This one was really awesome. Like everything from the composition to the character design and the creature design, like little storytelling, even down to like, you know, like the tools down here and the mechanics. Like I'm not very much of a mechanical type of person, but the amount of detail with the short amount of time like that they use to enter into the contest, it's like, yeah, they did a really good job on this.
And we also looked a little bit into the process, right? Because every team had to submit the process, and I found it very interesting. Like I like how they started with some composition, and they like first I can see like there were some attempts to incorporate some rocks into the background, but finally like this nice composition with the vehicle in the front was chosen.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Congrats. Good
Yeah.
job.
Okay, now to announce Damon, was there more you wanted to say?
No, I'm a sci-fi fan myself, so I like seeing this, these spaceships, the details of the mechanical stuff, and yeah, it's super creative. Great job, team.
Okay, announcing second place. The name of the artwork is Blooming Journey from Team Space Fruit Loops with artists Alejandro Terran Fimbres, Alberto Valenzuela Campa, and Rodrigo Camarillo Cruz.
Yeah, love the colors. Love like just again the character design and like the composition. Got like a very like fantastical, mystical kind of mood to it, and it's just like nice how overall there's like the cools and then the warms and just how everything like really flows well nice together. So good job on this.
I like the characters almost like pop out from the screen. It's so I'm missing a word, but it's seems almost alive in this fantastical way.
Let's take a quick look at the process, and I can see that there was a lot of brainstorming in there. Like I can see that the first version of the characters, they're quite different from what the artist ended up with. So you can really tell how much experimenting went in there, right?
Yeah, and just seeing this whole entire process like this, it's like, for me personally, I like this side more than seeing the final, just because like you get to see the whole thought process and like things that they had to, like ideas that they came up with and which ones they ultimately, you know, decided to go with. And it's like, I almost wish I could see all of these finished, but you know, of course, not enough time. But yeah, just the collaboration, you can totally see it here. It's fun. It's very fun to look at.
All right.
And last but not least, first place. The artwork name is Leaving Paradise, and it's Team Teriyaki with artists Kranz, Mano, and Fire.
Yeah, this one was just like when you see the original photo that they went with, but how they changed like the angle completely, but you can still tell it's in the exact same location. I thought that was really really creative of them. And even just establishing this like top down angle, it's very difficult, but they executed it like really well. And yeah, and also just like the fun colors, like from the pink to the teal, green, blue, and then there's like the purple. So again, good job.
Great composition too, from like
Mhm.
looking at the human and then doing the sweep around the circle
and
to the top.
I thought it was really creative because in the requirements we had that there is a planet and the sky in the sky, and here we see a reflection of that planet. So it was a very creative way to like fulfill the story of the contest and provide a different angle view of the scene.
And here you can see what Masae was talking about. So we see the initial photo that they started with, but then they just decided, you know, to go ahead and do this bird eye view on the beach, which was like really cool. So yeah, amazing. All right, Damian, should we mention the prizes? I guess.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, as I mentioned earlier, and maybe Wojtek, you could open the view what the winners will be actually getting, but and you can share your screen and
okay, just give me a second here.
I have to say
that's
it
a
was
lot of-
very hard for all of us to decide the winner. Everyone did such an amazing job.
Okay, there's a lot of tension, but let me open it. It's loading. Just a second. All right.
yes, so the winning team is getting 3 Wacom One pen displays, each one for your crew. Can you open the actual Wacom One pen display page, Wojtek? It's linked there in the contest.
Oh, okay, for
Yeah.
sure.
So you'll be getting these amazing devices, and would be nice to hear later from you how you like using them with Magma Studio. And each team is also getting Magma Pro plan for a year. So we will also love to hear from you how you like Magma, and if there's anything we can also improve to make it better for you. So yeah. Anything else?
It looks like the contestants are in the chat and they're all happy. And it's really cute how everyone's like, yay, good job. And so much support.
Yeah, I hope it's all of them. No, but really, like it was so hard to make a choice. Like all the artworks were really good, but we had to pick the winner, and yeah.
Yeah, and we would also love to like highlight the works on our social media and just show off what amazing work every team did. And so we will for sure like to stay in chat with each team and yeah, and try to present your works in a way that everybody can then see what great job you all did.
Well, thank you. Is there anything else we should share?
I think
4 minutes.
yeah. So if there are any questions in the chat, we can answer them. And in the meantime, again, big thank you to all participants who decided to maybe skip some talk on Lightbooks. We actually haven't realized earlier that yeah, there's like the schedule for Lightbook is so busy that it may be challenging to participate in the contest. So we are really glad that you did participate. And sorry for creating this dilemma for you. And we'll try to figure out next year how to maybe make it more compatible with the busy schedule. Thank you for our amazing judges. So and thank you for the host, Maureen. Thank you, Masae. Thank you, Don from Wacom. Thank you to the sponsors from Wacom. And thank you to Lightbooks for letting us be at this event. Thank you to Bobby, Jim, and the entire crew.
And thank
Thank
you,
you so
Magma
much.
team, for making
Thank
such an
you.
amazing app for all the artists in the world.
Yeah, we'll be here for you, and we'll be happy to work together with the entire community.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye.